So you've worked hard your whole life, and now retirement is finally here, or just right around the corner. And the big question is Roseburg really the place you want to spend these next years of your life? Well, I'll tell you this. There are some big advantages that make Roseburg an incredible spot to retire. But there are a few hidden downsides that might change your mind. And one of those downsides, most people don't even think about it until it's too late. I'll share that one with you towards the end of this video, so stick around. Hey everybody, I'm Jerry Norman with Oregon Life Homes. I've been selling real estate in this area for years. I absolutely love it. And I've helped tons of people retire and relocate to the Roseburg area. Some absolutely love it, while others discover it's not quite what they imagined. And so that's why I'm doing this video, because I do not want anybody moving here that doesn't like it. I too have moved to this area about 10 years ago, and I absolutely love it. So that's why I am breaking down the pros and cons of retiring in Roseburg, so you can make the best choice for you and your family. And I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I am not from here, so I'm giving you an outsider's perspective who's lived here for a few years. And we're going to start with the pros, the affordability, the lifestyle, and why so many people are drawn to this area to retire. And then we're going to dive into the cons, including that one surprising factor at the end that could be a deal breaker for some people. So with that, let's go on with the video. So the number one pro is the affordability of housing. Roseburg's median sales price is $350. Now, depending on where you're coming from and what your situation is, you may be over that median sales price or under. And there are a lot of different options. You can get beautiful riverfront homes starting about the $500,000 to $800,000 range. Or if you're looking for a little bit of space and acreage, also right around the 400 to 600 range, you can get some really nice pieces of property. A lot of people that I work with, they are so shocked that they can actually take their equity after they've sold their home and almost pay cash for the whole property, if not the whole thing. And that's one of the things that people are finding when they're searching the Roseburg area. They're realizing that the property values are a little lower than everywhere else. They may have family that's up in Portland or Medford or out on the coast, have kids that go to college at one of the universities in either Eugene or Corvallis. And that is what is drawing people to retire here in the Roseburg area. And if you are on a lower income level, there are still a lot of great homes available in the mid threes to mid twos. And if you like and don't want to deal with anything, there are some really good 55 and over mobile manufactured home parks. Now, if you are thinking about manufactured homes in a park, you're definitely going to want to watch this video and what I think about the manufactured homes in a park. For the homes in a park, they're designed just for the specific type of person, not a great deal for all. So make sure you watch that video, and it explains a lot about the homes in a park. So another thing about the affordability here in the Roseburg, Douglas County area is that the property taxes are really manageable. I was just showing some people some properties in the 450 and all the way up to the 600 range. And I was showing them the property taxes, and the highest one was about $3,000 a year. And they were coming from the Seattle area, and they said that was about half. So property taxes are a lot lower here in Douglas County, depending on where you're at. So if you are in some of the smaller towns, it could be a little bit higher. Or if you are just in the unincorporated Douglas County, your property taxes are going to be pretty low. And so with the low property taxes and the lower cost of living here in the Roseburg area, it makes it a lot easier on people with fixed incomes, because the median salary right now in the county is about $50,000 a year. So the county is designed for lower income. Now we move on to pro number two, which is the natural beauty in the outdoors. We have nature right in our backyard. We have the North Umpqua, the South Umpqua, and they meet right there, right outside of Roseburg, which offers a ton of outdoor activities. There is plenty of hiking up the North Umpqua. There's a great fly fishing spot, many fishing spots, salmon fishing, steelhead fishing, everything. We also have a lot of reservoirs for some boating activity. So we got fishing and hiking and camping. Tons of activities.
How many activities we can do?
Play Army Man?
Yes.
Do aerobics in here?
So many activities!
Do step class?
It's making my head spin.
And so it just kind of brings it down to a lot slower pace of life in the Roseburg area because we've got nature in our backyard, which gives you a lot of outdoor opportunities to do. And then that will bring us into pro number 3, which is it's such a relaxed community. People are friendly, and I get it all the time from clients that I'm working with from out of the area. When they're staying here for a weekend or 3 or 4 days, they always say, I can't believe how nice people are. They strike up a conversation, ask questions about the area, and people are so willing to give their information and their thoughts about living here. Because really, the people that live here, they actually love living here. It's such a close-knit community. There are a lot of events, and that really brings and ties the community together. A lot of locally owned shops and restaurants, so people all know each other. And somebody that is not originally from here, it's not that hard to go out and meet people. People will end up striking up conversations with you, so it's not difficult at all. And a lot of people that I do work with that are retiring here, once they settle in, they all tell me how they feel such at peace here. I have one that was a farmer for 20 years, owned a farm in Northern California, came up here, bought a beautiful home, him and his wife, downsized a little bit. They went from 5 acres to a small home in a nice little neighborhood, and he absolutely loves it. He would like to be on the river in the cabin, but his wife doesn't want to. But he is happy, his wife's happy, and he's got a lot of hobbies. He goes out fishing almost every weekend and just is enjoying the area. They go on walks around the park every day, and they tell me how much they love this area. And now we get into pro number 4, which is the healthcare. Now, if you are a veteran, a lot of veterans are moving to this area because of the VA complex. It offers a lot of services to our veterans, which is great, and it's great having one right here in the center of Roseburg. And then we also have Mercy Medical Center, which is also great. But if you do need specialty services, you are going to have to take a little bit of a trek up to Eugene, possibly Salem or Portland. But Eugene and Medford are probably going to have the specialty services that you need. With the medical centers right in Roseburg, it makes a couple of these neighborhoods that are right outside of Roseburg really desirable for people that are looking to move and relocate, just so they're close to hospitals and doctors. Now, not to mention, there are doctors in some of the outskirting towns. If you're going to want to be close to doctors, it's going to be in Roseburg. But these outskirting towns, they're only about 15 or 20 minutes away to Roseburg, so it's not that bad. And then pro number 5 is activities and community involvement. There are a few clubs that you can join, a lot of volunteer activities that you could do, and especially for newly retirees, there's a lot of small clubs that, there's a hiking club, fishing club, whatever. It won't be a problem becoming ingrained in the community. A lot of the people that I do help that are retiring here, they tell me, wow, we're way busier than we thought we'd be. They just brought up their hobbies and end up joining a few different clubs, and they end up becoming really busy and really ingrained into the community. All right, so now we're going to get into the cons. And I'm really not going to sugarcoat it at all. I am just going to tell you straight out how it is, because once again, I do not want somebody coming to this area and realizing that they do not like it after they've lived here for a few months. So we are just going to dive right into the cons. And the first one is the limited shopping and entertainment. Now, I know if you're retired, most people, they just kind of want to be calmed down. But I do have to mention that we have a very lack of shopping. There's no big malls, no nightlife. So if you want to go out and go dancing or whatever, it's not really going to happen here. And if that is something that you do desire, which would be surprising, not a lot of people coming to this area are hoping to do that, but you would have to go to Eugene or Medford. But as far as large shopping malls, We do have our big box stores, Walmart, Costco, Fred Meyer, whatever. But the other shopping, specialty stores, you'll have to go to Eugene for, which isn't that bad. Eugene's only about an hour away, so it's not too bad. And now we get on to con number 2, which is the weather. The weather could be a pro or a con, but I threw it into the cons just because we get a lot of rain. Fall and wintertime, we get rain, and it could rain for days. But the payoff is spring and summertime, we don't hardly get any rain. So it's sunny, and summertime averages about 80 degrees. Now it does get up to about 100 for about 1 or 2 weeks, but it's not too bad. And then the wintertime and fall time, it does rain. We do get about 150 days a year of rain. It's a little less than Seattle, Portland, or Eugene, and even Medford. And if we're comparing the weather between Roseburg and Medford and Grants Pass, the summer times are a lot cooler than Medford and Grants Pass. It's just the way that the towns sit into the valley. Grants Pass and Medford are kind of in this valley bowl type thing. So it gets really dry down there. Up here, it's hot, but it doesn't last too long, and it's usually pretty manageable. And like I said, it was about 80 degrees on the average for the summertime. So not too bad. But the rain during the fall and winter months, it can start taking a toll on you and kind of being a little dreary. So if you are looking for a more mild climate and way less rain, then this is not going to be the area for you. And then speaking of weather, which brings us on to con number 3, is the wildfire risks. Now, if you are coming from anywhere on the West Coast, you know about the wildfire risks. We do get some pretty good wildfires. Now, we are at the middle week of August as I'm filming this, and no major wildfires around. And we haven't even had any really bad smoke days yet. One of the things, I did do a video on wildfires, and you can catch that one over here, and that just talks about the air quality and the air quality that we've had over the last few years. But as I dove deep into the air quality, it really doesn't get all that bad. If air quality is a problem and the smoke can be a problem, that is definitely something you're going to want to look into a little bit more. But overall, our air quality is really good. Every once in a while, we might have a really bad fire, or the air just kind of condenses in here and blows all the smoke in. So it can get smoky, but really it's not that bad. In fact, last year were not bad at all. And then we get into con number 4. Now since you're retiring, this might not be a big issue, if any at all, but it is a small job market here. So if you are looking for maybe part-time work or something like that, there is a smaller job pool, and it might be a little bit difficult to find part-time work. But everybody that I've known that has moved here and retired here looking for a little bit of part-time work really hasn't had a problem. But on paper, it shows that the job pool is really small. But walking around, I see a lot of help wanted signs or ads for people looking for work. So just take that into an account. And also the wages here are a lot lower than if you were in Seattle, Portland, any California city. Wages are going to be a little lower here. As I mentioned earlier in this video, that the median salary is about $50,000. So salaries are going to be a little lower here. And then we get on to con number 5, which is the distance to the airports. Now, Roseburg has a regional airport, but you're not going to take flights out of there unless you're a pilot. But for your major airports, you're going to need to go to either Eugene or Medford, and a lot more direct flights if you go up to Portland. So typically, if I'm flying out, which I fly out of this area probably 3 or 4 times a year, I'm usually going to fly out of Eugene, sometimes Medford. But if I want more direct flights, then I'm going to have to go up to Portland, maybe spend the night and catch the flight the next morning. And Portland's about 3 hours away. So just something to take in mind. You are going to have to drive up to Eugene or Medford, which are both about an hour, hour and a half away. Just something to take into account. Eugene and Medford airports are super easy to get through. The TSA lines are hardly any, and they're very less crowded. There's just not a lot of flights coming in and out of there, but you can get a lot of direct flights to a lot of West Coast cities. So really good options, the Eugene and Medford airports. So for that surprising con that I told you about earlier in this video, now you've heard me talk about the pros and the cons in this video, the affordability, the outdoors, the slower pace of life, the weather, and even the distance from the airports. But here is that one factor that surprises a lot of people moving to this area. And it has been a deal breaker for some. It's not about the money. It's not about the rain. It's not even about being a smaller town. It's about the lifestyle fit. And here's what I mean. Roseburg offers a much slower, relaxed way of life. You'll have neighbors that wave to you as you drive by. You'll have store employees that know you by name after you've frequented the same business for a while. There's plenty of space to breathe. And for some, especially the ones from Seattle or some larger cities in California, and even Portland, the idea of living here feels like exactly what they've been dreaming of. They finally get the peace and quiet that they've been hoping for. But I've also seen the other side. I've had clients fall in love with Roseburg over a weekend visit. And then they bought their home and then moved here. And then 6 months later, realized something was missing. They missed the faster pace, the fighting the traffic to get across town, and the constant energy of a bigger city. And that's not something that you can order off Amazon or drive an hour north to. So here's my advice if you're seriously considering about moving to Roseburg. Don't just visit for a weekend. Rent an Airbnb for a week. Explore the town. Take a day drive out to the coast. Take a day drive up to the mountains. And just experience the whole town. Try out some of the local restaurants. Sit in on a community event. And really try to live here for that week you're here. And really see if it could be a fit for you. And while you're here, give me a call. I will point you out to some great directions. We can meet for coffee and I can show you things to explore that you might really find and really love. You know, I've been here for the last decade and I love it. Point you to all the cool areas that you might like, and it just all depends on what you're looking for. I can show you neighborhoods to explore because Roseburg is really amazing if the lifestyle matches you. But if you are craving constant action and stimulation, you're going to feel a little restless here. And that's not something that most people discover until they've already moved here. So once again, I did move here myself. And so I know what each neighborhood has to offer. So if you're serious about relocating to the Roseburg area, give me a call, text, email. All my contact info is in the description below and right over here. Also, if you've got a lot of value out of this, or if you want to know more about living, breathing, and retiring to Roseburg, hit that subscribe bell because I put out a video like this every week about living, breathing, and working in Roseburg or retiring. And also, check out these other videos. This one up here is the 12 reasons people love retiring to the Roseburg area. And then this one down here is the pros and cons about Roseburg. And so with that, you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.